Hello and welcome back to the USA Dynasty. I know everybody's been waiting for this moment, as today the Jaguars will see postseason play, and more importantly, for the first time in this series, they are a lock at the start of this episode. Before we've even played our conference championship game, they are a lock for the college football playoffs. We are number 4 in the nation. If we lose today, it will not move us outside of the top, I think 11 or 12 is the mark you have to kind of sit in. We're guaranteed. The question is, can we get a bye to the quarterfinals? More importantly, can we win the Big 12 in our first year? We have won in the last 2 conferences we've moved. We have at least had a chance to win, and this will be our 3rd straight conference win in a row if we do it. We also will be moving to the SEC after the season if we win today, and probably even if we lose today, it'll just be less of a sure thing. We'll start off though with West Virginia, as they're a good team in their own right. They're definitely not somebody you want to just sleep on. And while we may have already locked up the win or the appearance for the college football playoffs, you still want to keep winning. 2nd and 9 in this run will go for 6 yards. That's Javier Fannin. Now 3rd down and 3. Glenn Von Rosenberg throwing this one out into the flats and has his target Ryan Ward for a 1st down. The Jaguars have struggled all season against the run, and then that's opened up tight end throws. We haven't seen wide receivers really take over against us, so we'll see today if West Virginia can do that with Caleb Gross and Xavion Turner Bradshaw. Now the throw over the middle, and that is complete across midfield down at the 50. Zina Umeo Zulu shaken up on the play, and in this game we are going to be very cautious with our players. No use getting anybody hurt. Now a run for Glenn Von Rosenberg, not the fastest player but has some wheels on him. He'll get 17. 1st and 10 in the gun. Play fake, Glenn Von Rosenberg, end zone, touchdown. Caleb Gross with the first score of the game, and West Virginia showing they are not to be trifled with here at AT&T. Out comes the Jaguars offense, which has been hit or miss this year. I think overall they've been much more balanced than recent years, but we also haven't had one player to rely on, as Warren will take this out, and Cornelius Warren runs it down to the 32. Maybe he takes offense to me saying we don't have anybody to rely on. I definitely think Warren's been good. He just hasn't been to the level of getting Davidson or Duke Watson. Now up the middle for Warren, another 10-yard run. He's having a great start to his game. Now one thing we have to worry about, and we will keep in mind this game, wear and tear as he gets a 10-yarder. I don't even think he crossed the 1st down marker, but we'll take that. Now 2nd and goal. Walk, PA, touchdown. Chad Burns on the whip route. One thing we have to worry about with Warren is wear and tear. We will be managing that today, as he is nearly depleted on his bar. We don't want to go in the playoffs with him only able to carry the ball 5 times. We saw that with Kentrell Bullock in year 1. Now a 1st and 10. This is a big throw, 20-yarder. And that takes them down to the 37. 1st and 10 again. And this throw is caught. 1st down. And then some. Still on his feet down to the 21-yard line as Glenn Von Rosenberg is across 125 in the first 5 minutes of the game. Now Von Rosenberg rolling out, hit as he throws. And he is down on the ground. Not getting up, and in comes backup quarterback Christian Scroggins. Scroggins, 3rd and 10, rolling out to the left, getting this one out before Markel takes him down from behind. And that'll take out the field goal unit, in which West Virginia will retake the lead in this game, 10-7 now. And now a handoff on 1st down. Cornelius Warren off tackle to the 45-yard line. He's around 70 yards on the day, only 6 minutes in. Handoff again to him. That'll be just short of a 1st down. We have run the ball a lot to him, so we probably should go ahead and sub him out, start getting some breathing for him. This is a 1st down for A.J. Schneider. Now 2nd down and 5 at the 37. Warren's still in the game, and we're going right back to him. 1st down, Cornelius Warren. You gotta wonder about his wear and tear at this point. Play fake, getting this one out. Chad Burns catches it, and he's down to the 16-yard line. Burns so far putting on some displays at route running. Keeper for O'Neal inside the 10, down to the 9. Dwayne Galloway shaken up on the play. 3rd and 3 now. Drop back O'Neal. Throwing this one underneath Chad Burns, and he has to come back to the ball and actually loses a yard. Out comes the field goal unit, and Davis Little ties this game up. All knotted up at 10 here in Arlington. 1st and 10 for West Virginia. And it's a handoff up the middle. This one's going for a big gain. Jimmy Carlos down to the 29-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Mountaineers. And Christian Scroggins has a bit more running upside than Glenn Von Rosenberg, but not great blocking for him there. 3rd and 6. Scroggins doesn't really have anybody open. Finally gets one to the tight end around McGlynn, but it was good defense, and we get the ball back. Now throwing this one underneath, short for Marcus Helm, and it actually ends up working out. 1st and 10 to start the 2nd quarter, and Warren's going down for a 4-yard loss. 3rd and 14 now, screen pass. Warren getting it far from the sticks. Cuts inside and will be 2 yards short across midfield. Offense staying out there. 4th and 2, handoff. Warren cutting inside, jumping over a defender and getting a 1st down. He's up to 85 yards on 10 carries. O'Neal now over the middle, finding Marcus Helm, who runs through the tackler. Now 3rd and inches, man in motion. It's a handoff. Warren just has the power to push this across the sticks. 3rd and 11 now, in the gun. 3 wide. And O'Neal stepping up in the pocket, hit as he throws. Thankfully gets this one into the dirt. So a 3-point lead off of another Davis Little field goal. 1st and 10 for the Mountaineers, and Scroggins takes off up the middle. One thing we have seen a lot this year is the QB scramble up the middle of the defense. Now the handoff on 3rd down to back up Javier Fannon's going nowhere, so they punt. 3rd and 8 for the Jags back on offense. Throwing this one underneath. Marcus Helm reaching for a 1st down. He's got it. 4 minutes left in the half. 2nd down and 8. O'Neal throwing this one out. Intercepted. Just a weak arm throw out to Marcus Helm on the corner. Didn't have a lot of space to begin with. Now Danny O'Neal does run him out of bounds. At least makes up for his mistake a little bit. But that is a big time mistake, giving West Virginia a shot in the arm they might need. Fake to Javier Fannin. Scroggins stepping up and running again. It's one thing as he scores a touchdown on that. Terrible defense. It's one thing when you run this match coverage and you don't have any hook zone over the middle because you followed on match. You actually don't have anybody sitting there to stop the QB run up the middle. It's something we may have to address next season with our defensive schemes. 1st and 10 at the 43. Throwing this one out into the flats. It's a bubble for Dalton Weil. He'll take this inside the 40 down to the 39. Lots of red and blue in this crowd, I will say. Danny O'Neal now throwing this one up. He's got a man one-on-one down the field. Dalton Weil. He beat the press, and he beat his target down the field with just enough speed. And he almost gets hurt on the stands there. What is he doing? Screen pass now. And Isaiah Shelton takes this for a 1st down. 3-point lead with 1:40 left. Can the Jaguars hold on by half? This throws out into the flats, and Javier Fannon's going nowhere. That's a 6-yard loss. 3rd and 16, 4 wide, empty set. And Scroggins is sacked, rolling out. We ran Kevin Otis on a stunt. He actually went outside, and the nose tackle gets another sack. So 50 seconds left. Can the Jaguars put some more points on the board before halftime? 3rd and 4, 30 seconds left now. O'Neal throws this one, check down to Cornelius Warren. He'll be short of a 1st down. So the offense will stay out there, of course. That Hulk power eye, handoff up the middle. Warren's got plenty of space, and with 19 seconds left at the 25-yard line, we'll take a timeout. 5 wide now. O'Neal outside, has Brown, stays in bounds, cuts for a touchdown. Jalen Brown, the UTEP transfer. We saw him in Season 1 of the UTEP Dynasty, and now he's scoring touchdowns in the Conference Championship of Season 4 of the USA Dynasty. A big lead at half now, and the Jaguars have all but left West Virginia in yardage, and time of possession almost triple now. It's been complete domination so far. The scoreboard showing it less than I think it actually has been. Warren on his 1st carry of the 2nd half will take this for a big 15-yarder. He's across 100 yards on the day now. 3rd and 7, slow walk handoff for Warren. They just didn't respect the rushing game. We have run on so many 3rd and long situations, you have to still keep the box loaded. O'Neal now stepping up in the pocket on 3rd and 8, takes off with this. At the 20, cuts inside down to the 15. A really brilliant run from Danny O'Neal. 1st and 10 at the 15, it's a screen pass out for Cornelius Warren. He'll actually cut inside but can't make any men miss. I still think Gideon Davidson scores in a situation like that, but I just can't compare the two. It's just not the same, as on 3rd and 5, Miles Ahinicho goes nowhere. So out comes Davis Little, and he shanks the field goal right. We've seen this a few times. My accuracy has not necessarily been great, although I don't think Davis Little's a great kicker either. 3rd and 3 now on offense for the Mountaineers. And Scroggins throwing this one down the field. Broken up. Cole Punga intended for Caleb Gross. So back on offense again. Motion man, and Warren bouncing this outside. Barely beats the edge defender. He's at 138 on the game now. 1st and 10. Keeper O'Neal. Look at that block from Marcus Helm. Sealing the edge. And O'Neal diving down at the 25. 3rd and 6 now. And it's a pass out for Chad Burns. Not a great pass either from Danny. It was behind him on the cut. 3rd and goal now. O'Neal to the end zone. Dalton Wiles got it. And it's his 2nd score of the game. Dalton with the touchdown. The Jags go up 17 points here in Arlington. 17-34. And it's looking like a Big 12 championship in our first season. Undefeated in conference, and this throw's really good, and breaking off the tackle, Isaiah Shelton. Down to the 37, the playmaker with a nice play. 1st and 10, 4 wide. And this throws outside. Shelton again down to the 22-yard line. 1st and 10, now 3rd and 9. Can the defense get off the field once again? Scroggins to the end zone. Willie Goodwin can't intercept it, but he does force the incompletion. And on the kick, it's blocked. It's blocked by Zena. Picked up Morgan Ellington, the true freshman's returning it. At the 20, the 10, he will score. The 5-star true freshman, our first 5-star in the series, scores his touchdown. And your score is now 41-17. Domination here at AT&T Stadium. In Jerry World, as we're down to the 37 on defense. 20 seconds left in this quarter. Sacked! Zena beat his man from the inside this time and gets the sack. 3rd and 13 now. Pump fake for Scroggins. Getting this one out. Almost intercepted Cole Punga. He dropped it. And they'll go for it on 4th and 13. Scroggins throwing this one up again, testing Punga. And again losing, as now the Jags will get the ball at the 34-yard line. O'Neal still in the game, as we'll keep the starters in for maybe one more drive. Now this is going to be a 10-yard throw. 1st and 10. We're going to start running the clock down too. Handoff, Miles Ahinicho. It's going to be a 9-yarder to the 13. You can see that clock taking some time down. Ahinicho with another run, as I don't think you can expect to see Cornelius Warren the rest of this game. Handoff, Ahinicho up the middle, fighting his way down to the 3. It's going to be 2nd and goal. Man in motion, that's Jay Beasley, and Ahinicho walks it into the end zone untouched. No defensive effort, and that will all but end this game, as we'll start seeing some backups up 31. And we'll go ahead and just go to the end of the game here. I actually paused the game again. I've got to stop doing that. Lost some footage, but 48-17, your final score. A complete second half defensive effort, and offense finally kicking on in the second half. Just wore them down with runs. Eventually they couldn't stop us. And the Jags win their first ever Big 12 championship in their first ever season with 0 losses. This does 2 things. It ensures we're moving to the SEC next year, and it also locks up a bye in the first round of the college football playoffs. We will debut in the quarterfinals. That's really big, as we have never even made it past the quarterfinals of the college football playoffs. Now in our 3rd straight season going to them, and now we will start there. It only takes 3 wins to win the championship now. It doesn't take 4. 2 wins and you have a shot at least. As every facet of play today was dominated by the Jaguars. Danny O'Neal, a really great game, I think. I had one bad interception that I would say was his fault. But otherwise, I think he was excellent today. Warren with 140. We did have to start playing him a little sparingly, but he still ran the ball a lot more than I would have liked. I probably should have been cautious with him. I just wanted to make sure we won this. Even though we'd already locked up the playoffs, I wanted that bye really badly. Morgan Ellington finishes with an interception and the kick return for a touchdown. Atari Mason, finally the Bear Bryant Coach of the Year. This one is long overdue, but finally he gets it in Season 4 with a 13-0 record. As offensive coordinator GJ Kinn wins the Broyles Award. I think that award's bugged because that definitely should have gone to our defensive coordinator. Luke Kromenheck from FIU wins Heisman. And interesting, Kamario Taylor, Arkansas State was the frontrunner for that all year and then somehow doesn't win it. Jet Award, again, Winston Malone. I believe that is his 4th straight Jet Award. It might be 3, I can't remember. Theo Garrison, let's go ahead and see some dev traits. Only normal, so we don't actually miss out much. And then Reggie Lemon even was only impact dev. Chester Willies, impact dev, backfield threat. Lee Samuel, star contact seeker. I feel fear for Alani Frazier, star right tackle, pass protector Al Haddad. Taylor Shaddock, impact speed rusher, defensive tackle. 4-star gadget wide receiver, normal. D'Angelo Triumph, 4-star gritty, normal. 4-star guard, normal. And then 4-star right tackle, impact, with David Ojeda at thumper being star. This is pretty big. Ogbonna, the free safety, is going to be impact, and then Dar is going to be normal. So no elite devs, but I think still really solid. We got a few stars. And the Jaguars will face the winner of Clemson and Memphis. And then in the next round, we could face either of Nebraska, Texas, or Miami again, which I really don't want to see Miami. Chauncey Paul is your All-American first-team running back, by the way. Unfortunately, I really wanted him. Kevin Otis and TJ Lindsey, the 2 defensive tackles, the only first-teamers we had, All-Americans. And then Cornelius Warren makes it on the second team, but no defensive players for us. Freshman, we did have one. It's Morgan Ellington. No shock here. He was really solid all year as that nickel corner. And the Big 12, Cornelius Warren, Devin Harper, Zena Ume Ozulu, Kevin Otis, TJ Lindsey, Tavion Wallace, and Red Morgan, your first teamers. Chad Burns, Timode Vu, Markel Vincent, your second teamers. Ironically, no Andy McGlynn here. Trent Godwin is on the freshman Big 12 team, as well as Morgan Ellington and Alani Kalawaya. And that'll all but do it. We'll go ahead and simulate here past this bye week we have in the first bowl week. And we'll see who we're going to play against, as it will be the Clemson Tigers yet again. We last saw them when they had Gideon Davidson and we had Duke Watson. We're playing Clemson again now in Season 4, as the Tigers feature a much different look, actually. Very different team from what we've seen, and we come in the favorite. This is definitely new territory for South Alabama. We'll go ahead and get into a playoff game here, as if we win this game, I will be doing the rest of the playoffs in another episode. I don't want to do 3 postseason games in one episode. I actually felt that was too much to do. I don't want to shove them into too small of a package. And if we make the championship game, I wanted to have it be a little unknown, if we will. So, you know, it'll be in the next episode. And this one's coming out on, I believe, Monday. So that means the championship episode, or this one's coming out Sunday. So the championships episode, or the playoffs episode, I guess, not the championship, but the remaining playoffs games will be on Wednesday, I believe, with the off-season stream being either Friday or Saturday. I haven't decided yet. 3rd and 4 to start this game off. Cornelius Warren with the carry. He's got space at the 45, the 50. He's down to the 40. Now the 35 of Clemson. Warren rips off a huge 40-yard run. He's already above 50 yards in the first 2 minutes. Now finding Chad Burns on the bubble. That'll be an inch short of a first down. 3rd and inches. Another bubble outside. Dalton Weil, and he's fighting off contact to get the first down. And down to the 19-yard line. 3 wide now. Handoff Warren again up the middle. Now that bar for him is lower than an 1/8. I'd even dare say it's down to a 1/10 maybe. We really don't have much left with him, as he gets a slow walk handoff now on 3rd and 4 down to the 8-yard line. Such a devastating play we've been running. Now 1st and goal. O'Neal is sacked. From the edge, that's Logan Anderson. 3rd and goal now at the 17. O'Neal to the end zone, down to the 2, Chad Burns, who is shaken up on the play. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Now 4th and goal, 5 wide. O'Neal outside to Alexander Newsom, the quarterback. And it's going to be broken up. Turnover on downs. And out comes the Clemson offense, led by quarterback Chris Denson and running back Usmane Kroma. Denson on 2nd and 7, dropping back. Sacked! Blindside Zena Ume Zulu. And actually, he's a left-handed quarterback, it looks like. So not a blindside sack, but still, that'll be a safety as the Jaguars take over. Now losing 2 on 2nd down. It's 3rd and 13. And defense so far ruling this quarterfinal game, as that is short of the sticks. 4th and 3. Offense does stay out on the field. 5 wide. And it's all a stunt to try to get the defense off sides. They will take the delay of game and punt the ball back. So handoff to star running back Ousmane Kroma, who is definitely a bruiser, but also has some really good shiftiness skills and pass catching. This throw over the middle is caught. That is Garen McNown, one of their best wide receivers. There's just so much talent on this team. It's really hard to pinpoint one area where they're really good. 4-yard run on 2nd and 6 makes it 3rd and 2. 4 wide, throwing this one outside. That's caught, first down. Nice play out there for Brockenmeyer. It's going to be 2nd down and 8 now. Blitz picked up, and then TJ Lindsey still gets the sack. The play action worked at first, but you got to get that ball out quick against this pass rush. Drop back, hit as he throws, balls in the air, it's a duck. Tavion Wallace user pick, that's all me, baby. I was really lucky there. That was a great pass rush ability. I think that was TJ that forced the bad pass. So we get the ball back off the interception by Tavion. It's an 8-yard run. 2nd and 2, last play of the quarter. Finding Schneider outside. Should have been picked, and instead it's down to the Clemson 30, as that'll take us to the 2nd quarter. Dangerous throw. Now 1st and 10. Bubble screen out for Chad Burns. You can see on his bar, his wear and tear bar, he is in the yellow. So a few ratings now at a detriment. Handoff up the middle for Gideon, or wow. Clemson making me think of Gideon Davidson. That's Cornelius Warren. Lamar Williams shaking up on the play. Now keeper O'Neal up the middle. Down to the 9. 2nd down and 2. Now 1st and goal at the 7. O'Neal dropping back. Throwing this one in zone. Caught! Jaylen Brown with a man hanging on his shoulder. Takes that one, and then what is this dance? We'll take it. 9-0 your score. Safety and a touchdown. Very interesting. Scoregami alert, as a matter of fact. That's going to be a 1st and 10. I guess not. You could get 3 field goals easily enough. Now the handoff. Ousmane Kroma in the backfield on the sweep is going to lose 5. 3rd and 15. And Denson gets hit as he throws again. We've just had such good pass rush. We're going to force the punt. Now, back on offense again, as we would do nothing with our drive. This is Denson throwing it outside, and Kroma, you can't keep him down for too long. But that's only going to be a 5-yard gain. We'll take that. 3rd and 4 now. Denson dropping back, stepping up in the pocket. And McGlynn runs up to meet him, up into him, but he's going to hit the sticks for a new 1st down. Again, like I was saying on match coverage, if your Mike linebacker's in a hook zone and he draws out of that zone, it leaves the middle of the field exposed for the quarterback. 3rd and 15 now, and sacked up the middle, ball's on the ground. Markel's got it. Zena Umeozulu forced the fumble on the strip sack, and Markel comes up with the recovery. Handoff now, Monty Alaka, as you'll see Cornelius Warren get spelled for quite a while in this game. Up 9 points. I figured why not give him a rest. We need him. If we win this game, we'll need him again next game. If we win that, we'll need him in the championship game. 1st and goal now. Handoff Ahinicho, untouched. Walking his way into the end zone. Miles Ahinicho scores. In what may be his last game or few with the South Alabama Jaguars, he scores a touchdown in the playoffs. Handoff up the middle, Ousmane Kroma, and that'll be a 9-yard gain. 2nd down and 1 at the 2-minute warning. And Clemson needs a big break. Kroma's going to give it to him. Down inside the 30, still on his feet. 20, 10, stepping out at the 5. What an interesting choice. 2nd and goal at the 6 now. Denson in the pocket, steps up and walks it in. And that match coverage gets us burnt again. We may need to start spying on the defensive line. 1st and 10 back on offense. 1:40 left. And a quick pass out to Dalton Weil on the RPO alert. Now 2nd and 3. Handoff up the middle. Ahinicho unfortunately can't break off that tackle. 1st and 10 at the 30. O'Neal dropping back, throwing this one out for Marcus Helm, and it's caught. Down to the 43 on the corner route. 1st and 10, O'Neal. Quick pass over the seam. It's intercepted. I saw where he was going with that, but you got to get a little more air under the ball. And that route is leapt for interception. And now Clemson can make this a 1-score game at half. Handoff Ousmane Kroma. And the spin move keeps him on his feet. He's starting to run the ball really well. He's up to 100 on 10 carries. One of the best running backs we've seen all season. Denson now over the seam. Caught. And this will go down inside the 5-yard line. Stephon Missouri. 2nd and goal at the 4. Denson in the gun. has to roll out, evades pressure, and then somehow gets this across Andy McGlynn's face for 6. Garrett McNown scores, and the Clemson Tigers make this a 2-point score. That safety holding us up right now. Alexander Newsom is checked into the game. I'll have to keep an eye on this. Danny O'Neal hasn't been terrible, but it looks like Mason just wanted something new with Newsom, a new look. This gives us ability on offense to run the ball that we don't have with O'Neal, even though he's fast. Hand off up the middle, Miles Ahinicho is going to have a 10-yard gain. That'll stop the clock with 25 seconds left. Now a quick pass out on the flats. Schneider cutting it in down to the 40. 10 seconds left and 1 timeout. That'll set up a field goal for Davis Little, and he hooks this one right. So we will go into halftime 16-14. Your score. We'll have to keep an eye on several things. First, will Cornelius Warren come back, or will wear and tear kind of keep him sidelined for the rest of this game? Second, will Danny O'Neal return, or will Alexander Newsom be running the offense in the second half to give us some really oomph we haven't quite had in this game? And then can the defense step up on Ousmane Kroma? The answer is no to start this drive in the second half. That's a 9-yard run up to 108 now. 2nd and 11. Drop back for Denson, throwing this out into the flats. That's caught. And Garrett McNown's going to be 2 yards short. 3rd and 2. Stacking the box. We get the play. Kevin Otis in the backfield. The way to stop somebody like Ousmane is hit him before he can even get it going. 7-yard run now for Newsom up the middle, 5 wide. Now 3rd and 2. Some movement. Was it Vu? No, it was Clemson. So 1st and 10 off of the offsides. Handoff at Ahinicho with some room. And Ahinicho, not a dynamic running back, but just doing what he's asked. 2nd and 8 now. Handoff up the middle again. Look at the room this offensive line is making. This is why we can do what we can do. Up the middle on a 5 wide set. And that's going to be Alexander Newsom to the 17. Now 2nd down and 2. Trips right. Throwing this one on the slant. Marcus Helm down to the 6. On the RPO peak. So 1st and goal at the 6. Still 1 back with 3 wide. And it's a check down. Amani Alaka doesn't reach out. Would have had 6 maybe. 2nd and goal at the 1 now. Newsom drop back. Intercepted. Trying to force the slant to Dalton Weil. And another red zone turnover or turnover on downs means we may lose this game, where we've been in the red zone at least 5 times. That is crazy. Now Ousmane Kroma ripping off a huge run. Still on his feet, and Darren Lamb brings him down from behind. Down at the 45-yard line. 1st and 10. Tigers getting this one out into the flats. That's caught. Still on his feet. Christian Bentancur. You may remember him. We saw him quite some time ago. Now 1st and 10. Play fake on the toss. Denson throwing this one out. That is caught. Thought he was going to run with that. Had so much ground up the middle of the field, but instead finds Garrett McNown on the comeback. 1st and 10. Handoff Kroma. And a good tackle, Olani Kalawaya, the freshman. 2nd and 3 now. Ousmane Kroma fighting his way for a 1st down to the 2. 2nd and goal. Handoff Kroma down to the 1. And he is injured on the play. This is big news. 3rd and goal. Handoff. Touchdown. Tigers. And the Jaguars tried what they could, but the lead is finally lost. 21-16 your score. Newsom kicks off this drive with a 7-yard run up the middle. Starting the 4th quarter. 4th and 6. Keeper. Newsom's got it at their own 35-yard line. I think coach did not expect the defense to do much. Now 4th and 11 at the 41. Free play. We draw him off sides. It was a hard count. Throwing this one downfield. Jaylen Brown's got it in double coverage. Forget the free play. We'll take the 1st down. 2nd and 10. Handoff. Cornelius Warren's checked back in the game. I think things are too dire to keep him off the field. 3rd and 5 now. Drop back Newsom on the comeback. Broken up for Jaylen Brown. Faced with another 4th down. We'll go for it again. And penalty markers fly. And this is going to be on Clemson again. They've just not been disciplined on these hard counts. Throwing this one out to Cornelius Warren. He gets it outside. He gets a 1st down. 10-yard catch and run to the 18. Now 5 wide. Keeper again for Newsom. And they just aren't respecting his really running ability up the middle, where we've run several design QB runs. Now 2nd and 3, getting this one out. AJ Schneider hurdling, trying to get into the end zone. He gets upended at the 1. Second and goal. 1 yard line. Newson scores it with just a simple blast up the middle. And we retake the lead, and we're going for 2, of course. Make this a 3-point game with 6 left. Looks like one back. It's Warren. Hand off to him, and it's an RPO that they're all over. So a 1-point lead means Clemson can take back the lead with just a field goal. This throw out to Dalen Singleton, his first catch of the game. That's going to be a 7-yarder. Second and 8 now. Play fake, Usmane back in the game, and sacked by TJ Lindsey. You've got to roll out of the pocket faster when he gets that kind of rushing. Now 3rd and 14, Denson dropping back. Denson running out of time. Sacked by Kevin Otis, our 6th of the game. And Clemson now has to punt. A few first downs can end this one. Amani Alaka, the power back, with a 10-yard run in the first down. 2nd and 6 now, 5 wide. Newson, it's another QB draw designed. Now he did go down a yard short. 3rd and inches. QB sneak, and he's got the first down. Clemson burning their timeouts. We need to come away with at least 3, though. 3rd and 6. Handoff, no keeper, and Newson's rocked down. Made the wrong read. And so we'll have to settle for a Davis Little field goal. 4th and 11 with 36 seconds left. The field goal is good. So Clemson needs a touchdown. They have no timeouts. 32 seconds. What can we do on defense now? And Denson going to find his man over the middle. That's Garrett McNown. Big gain down to the 33. That sets up at least a drive here. They spike it. 22 seconds left. Denson over the middle again. First down. And again, they'll rush to spike the ball at the 50. 2nd and 10 now. Drop back Denson. Hit as he throws, but he gets it delivered. Christian Beninker catches it. And they're hurrying to the line. They will not spike it. 6 seconds. 5 seconds. Last play of the game over the middle. Brought down in bounds, and that is your game. The Jaguars will make it to their first ever college football playoff semifinals as they beat the Clemson Tigers yet again in the playoffs. And that face in the background there is my exact face. This defense coming up big when it needed to most with the sacks, the pass rush. Denson, the pure runner, just not able to get out of the pocket those last few plays and make plays with his legs. And the Tigers again fall to us. Man, they have really set us up for some playoff success so far. As the Jaguars are victorious once again, we will be in the college football playoff semifinals. We have a chance to see the Miami Hurricanes, the #1 team, again. I'm so sick of playing Miami. I really don't want to do it because I know Miami's got more talent than we've seen all season, even in this game. I'm ready for whatever, though. This team is a team of destiny, I feel. And really, it was a pretty tough game. We didn't even break 200 yards passing. It was really bad. 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions total. Cornelius Warren even didn't have a great game, but that's because we had to sideline him so much. He's just getting so low in that wear and tear. And then it really was the defense coming up big. Otis, Lindsey, and Wallace. 2 sacks apiece for Lindsey and Umeozulu, and then Otis with 2 sacks, and then the interception for Tavion Wallace. The defense carried this game as we will face the Nebraska Cornhuskers. They beat Texas, and they beat Miami. They didn't just beat Miami. They trounced Miami. We don't even have to worry about the imp on our back. And thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like if you did. I will see you in the semifinals and maybe the championship next. Have a good one.